Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run7. How you doing? Today we're going to be going over Bloodsport's defense or lack thereof. Kind of a special one because we're going to switch out of this and take a look at his roster and talk about some teams that he should be working on for offense and then a few defensive teams. See, he's a newer player with less of TCP than usual, and so he's going to have a lot of empty slots in his roster. But first off, let's grade what he's got and talk about that. And then we will move on to what we're going to build for him or what he should be working on to build so that we can get into it. Remember, guys, when you're doing war defense, you always want to be thinking about the offensive teams that you want to use first. Get a bunch of those, whatever you're comfortable with. Preferably, I mean, now that we've got a total of 14 possible attacks, usually 12, you want to try and get 12 offensive teams first, and then whatever you're not using, use on defense. But he really wants a few defenses set up, so we're going to give him a handful of both offense and defense. Also, we're going to start talking about building offensive teams and maybe doing some sort of an offense up segment here in the future. So stay tuned for that, because I've been having a lot of people say, hey, could you do this for the other side? So we'll give it a shot. Team number one, we grade on 5 different things. It's who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. So team number one is the OG Sinister 6. I usually like to reserve Rhino for offense, but if you don't have any more than these 5, just keep them here. I don't think we're really going to be using Rhino in your offense at your level. He's more reserved for those Doom Brotherhood attacks, stuff like that. So you do have an X Factor team for offense, and so that's kind of where he usually gets used on offense most often. But I think he's just better. Leave him on this defense right here. At your level, this is actually a substantial defense. Anywhere else, this is garbage. It's a filler team. Let's see. Healer ISO on him, no good. I think he should be a skirmisher or a striker. He's got a basic that like clears or flips. I think it clears positive effects. So you usually want him as a striker. Skirmisher also works. Raider's good here. Skirmisher or striker, even a Raider here on that. Raider or striker on him is good too. And then on him, Fortifier is kind of a waste. He's a pretty good tank. He's usually last to die. You might as well put him as a Raider, get some extra vulnerables out on the field. But honestly, you've already overinvested in his team, so don't put any more in it. Just leave it where it's at. It's a filler. I think you get like a... I mean, at your level for this defense, I actually got to give you a B for it because it's pretty substantial. As you'll see, this is one of your best defenses. However, this is kind of sloppy ISOs that I don't like. The placement's fine. It really doesn't matter. It is a filler defense. You're never going to use this team until it gets reworked. You don't want to use Doc Ock on this team. You want to use Doc Ock for hybrids later on. Team number 2 is Wave 1 Avengers. We want to get her out of here and put Thor in. She does have a little bit of synergy with this team, but you're going to see in the next team you're using Thor on the Asguardians, and we don't want that. We don't want that on defense anymore. So get rid of her, get Thor in here. It's going to go Hulk, Captain America, then either Thor or Black Widow, your choice, then the other one, and then Hawkeye. Skirmisher Striker on these 2 is correct. Healer, and then Thor is going to be a Raider on this team. So I don't really like this build. It's not the worst thing you're doing. You don't have not Secret Avenger. You don't have Skilletary, so you're not exactly wasting anything. I don't know why you put 40k into this character already. She's really not that great. I mean, on the offensive team, she's okay. I'm getting a lot of people telling me that Skilletary is actually a really good offensive team to have in your roster, and they do some things that I didn't know they did. So I won't bag on the Skilletary team anymore. But I just, it's not a team I have the resources to build in right now, so I'm not building them myself. I kind of wish I did have them built. I just don't want to go back and do that right now. Okay, let's see. So this right here is... This could be your best defense if you had it built correctly. I think as is, it's a B-. It's kind of wasteful having her in here and you put resources in her, and I don't like her as a character. I don't like her as a character for your level of offense. I think you're a ways away from having the Skilletary built. And then when you do build Skilletary, it's going to be taking away Black Widow, but that's okay. Everybody's taking Black Widow off of this team anymore. So maybe Skilletary is a team you want to work on since you've got her, but you've got to unlock some characters from the rest of your roster. Team number 3 is the Asgardians. I hate this team. I hate Hela on defense. She ruins every single defense now because symbiotes, axemen, X Factor, any of those speed teams that gets kills or crits or in the red speed meter, whatever, they annihilate this team, and Hela's the reason for it. So get Hela off of there. You're going to want to put her on one of your offensive builds. And then Thor is going to go back, like we said, on this team. So, yeah, this team kind of gets the F. I'm kind of like automatic Fing all the Asgardians. There is some value at the low end levels where people don't have the Axemen unlocked, where people don't have the symbiotes unlocked, where people don't have X Factor unlocked. You can still get away with it a little bit. But there's 24 opportunities for somebody to have one of those teams and absolutely kick the teeth in on the Asgardians. So I just don't like taking that chance. As for running this team as a 5-piece, if you really want to, and yes, we have her in there. I see you do have Heimdall unlocked. This is actually a good substitute for Heimdall. Heimdall keeps this team from being blinded, and she takes, and when they're blinded and miss, she goes in with the assist attack or whatever, and she doesn't miss, although you might be missing some of the T4s or at least T3s to get her. She needs to have 200% accuracy, and if she doesn't have 200% accuracy, then her little trick doesn't work and there's no point. So make sure that she has that if you're going to run this sort of thing. Raider's fine. You could also make her a skirmisher, works really well because of that assist. Raider's okay on this. If you're going to run her as the 5-piece, you want her as a striker because he will lay out a taunt. She'll go into that taunt and then counterattack. And that's so skirmisher striker combo with those two if you run the 5-piece. If you're not running the 5-piece, he doesn't lay out a taunt. It kind of goes to waste. Sif as a fortifier is a waste. She's almost always the last one to die. Oh man, I not only lost my beard, but I lost my voice yesterday too. And then Thor, I like him as a Raider. Striker is fine, it's just a damage boost, but the Raider gets those vulnerables out there, and I'm a big vulnerable guy. Okay, so what I think we should do is break this team up. Use Hela on the Hela Natural team. Loki can be used on a new warrior team once you get them up and running. He works really well helping that time out with the defense down, all sorts of spreads. It's just a good place to use him. And then your choice of a 5th on that team. Those new warriors carry just about anybody, but you could really punch up if you use the right plug-and-play character. Yeah, so I think we gave you the F for that, but that's okay. We'll take it apart and do something else. Okay, so what we discussed beforehand, and Bloodsport is in chat right now. If you guys want to join us live on Twitch, Tuesdays and Thursdays mornings is when I stream. I do some bonus streams, and I am trying to recycle all these streams onto YouTube for you, for those who can't make it here in the morning. But we do have a lot of fun here on Twitch, don't we, chat? Yeah, making fun of me and posting my stupid emotes and stuff. Let's take a look. We're gonna go to a different scene setting here. Right monitor, switch over to, where'd we go? Here we go. So we'll blow these up a little bit bigger, I think, so we can see them. Okay, so what we talked about for offensive teams is we're going to be we look through all of this roster, and I'm just going to slowly scroll through so you guys can see what he has, and I'm just going to list off some of these offensive teams that he should be focusing on first. We talked about X Factor with your choice of a 5th. Zemo works really well as a 5th on that team, just allowing them to do whatever you need them to do, because he's going to clear and then ability block, and then that team really gets rolling. He usually causes a crit to happen on his opening moves, or he can. I like Zemo as a skirmisher. I like him as a Raider also, but skirmisher is really good, so that level 5 skirmisher, the focus boost, to make sure he lands that ability block and clears what he needs to be clearing. And then let's see, we talked about Secret Avengers with Winter Soldier and Fury. Now, Bloodsport does not have Winter Soldier or Fury unlocked, so he's going to have to work on those, but that 5-piece is what gets you Omega Red, so if he wants to get that for later working in the arena soup that he'll probably have, helping clear Heroes for Hire later in War, just a great War offensive team, you're going to need Omega Red, and those 5 will make a pretty decent team. Now, the SA team usually is better with like Kestrel, or I like it with Kestrel and Fury, but he has Kestrel other places. Kestrel's probably going to be going Well, I guess he could run Kestrel with this build. He could also run Kestrel with the Glitter Sisters, which is another team. That's the Infinity Watch. He's got 3 of the Infinity Watch, so I call them the Glitter Sisters. And then we were talking about putting Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive in there to make a 5th team that he'll be able to build. And the Proxima and Corvus Glaive are going to do a lot of not turn meter rewind, but clearing positive effects, and they've got some stuns and all kinds of things that they're going to help with. And on that, the Glitter Sisters are just going to be doing the damage. Here's the characters that he has not unlocked. Finally, we've got we've got Supernatural with Hela. Let's not forget that team. He is going to need to unlock Ghost Rider for that. He can make it work with Elsa Bloodstone, since we're taking her off of that Asgardian team, so she can fill in there for now. But we are going to want to get the Ghost Rider unlocked, excuse me. And we talked about X-Force. I think he's got X-Force unlocked already, so that's going to help out having the X-Force unlocked already. There are some characters like, Secret Avengers Sharon Carter, but she's pretty much farmable now, so it's not too far away until she gets unlocked. So we've got X-Force, which you already have unlocked. We should build that up because you want to have Deadpool as one of your minions for Payday, and then we're going to do 4 other mercs for defense, and we'll get over those defensive teams here in just a second. And then finally, Shadowlands is another great offensive war team to build. They do have a lot of T4s that are required, but my God, they can just do so many things on offense. It's a great team to have, and if you're really close to having all of them unlocked, it's not a bad, like a back burner build. They're one of the few pre-Surfer teams that are holding up with the post-Surfer meta, which is kind of unreal. So a good offensive team. So in summary, we've got X Factor with your 5th, SA with Fury and Winter Soldier. You've got Supernatural with Hela, the Glitter Sisters with Proxima and Corvus Glaive. You've also got Kestrel that you can fit in just about anywhere. X-Force you already have unlocked, and the Shadowlands, which if you don't have all of them unlocked, let's build that team up. That's your offensive list, and that gives you, what do we got, 6 teams there to work with, plus anything that's left over, just some big junk, like, you got Ghost here. She's a great plug-and-play character. Shuri is another plug and play character. Wolverine is his rework makes him useful. Let's see, Loki's that plug and play offensive character for new warriors. If you can get those new warriors up and running, I know that's really hard for free to play players to get both cloak and dagger going, but it's a great team if you can get them. Hopefully somebody will get us some shards who wins the DD5. They'll come back with some cloak or dagger shards or something like that. I don't know. It'd be nice because it looks like they're going to be pretty powerful, important characters. Okay, as for your defensive teams, so we talked about this team and this team staying with a little workup here. We're getting rid of this team. And then we're going to go, so we got S6 Wave 1, Hydra 1.0 with Red Skull and some minions. Put very little effort into this. Honestly, maybe just build up like Hydra or Red Skull, maybe Sniper, and maybe Grenadier, because you'll be able to use those teams on offensive builds later on, and the rest of the minions, just don't even worry about it. This is a team where you have to kill those minions to do any kind of damage to Red Skull, and that's going to cause people at low levels to have some problems. Higher up people are just going to go in there with a big team and smash and smash and smash until they get those charges off of Red Skull. Finally, you need to unlock that Misty Knight character. She will become available. I believe we said it's going to be in the Raid store or Raid Orb. Maybe a Blitz. I don't remember where she's coming at. Chat, help me out with that one. And then finally, we're going to do a Mercs team because you're going to need Mercs for Payday event, which is really helpful. So we're going to go with the Mercs, basically Taskmaster, Lieutenant, Riot Guard, Killmonger, because all those tags make him useful everywhere else. And then we're gonna do Shuri as your 5th because you've already got her in there. We talked about her as a plug and play character. Putting her on there, that'll make your 5th team. That gives you those, the Payday event's kind of important, so you might as well be building those mercs anyways. And then you've got Deadpool off of your X-Force team, which you already have up and running, so that'll give you 5 mercs for that. Okay, kind of a ramshackle mix. Did we figure out where Misty's coming? I believe she's Raid Store or Raid Orb. I'm not sure. Anyway, stay tuned. I'll tell you in the next video. So yeah, this has been an unusual defense up video for Bloodsport. And if you'd like to have your defense featured on Defense Up, oh, it's the Blitz Orb we said. Blitz Orb says Stocky. Oh, thank you. Okay. So if you'd like to have your defense featured on Defense Up, please just contact me. Links below in the description. You can find me in my Discord. Send me some pics. I'll get you on the list. I think I got some openings for next week, actually, which is kind of unusual. Otherwise, catch me here on Twitch live. Come hang out with us. We have a lot of fun. And if you can't catch me, I'm now restreaming my streams on YouTube. So you just, click over there to the YouTube, the streams playlist. Anyway, I'm getting out of here. Don't just have a good game. Be good to yourselves and each other too. Catch you next time. Bye.